folks, and welcome to our presentation on the importance of carbohydrates. My name is Chris Carr, and I am the Natural Body Man. We're here in sunny Florida in Coconut Creek. This is a really nice restaurant here at Rosie's Restaurant. And, I've seen over the years how carbohydrates, for many people, they're giving them a bad rap. I just want to come here and clear up the confusion on what are carbohydrates, what are they used for, when should we have them, and how much. Okay? I know it's not easy to make these decisions, especially when your education may not be fixated on that. So hopefully this presentation will be simple enough to understand. Now, through a lot of hard work, I was able to draw these two figures right here. Now here we see on the right, which would be your left, this figure right here, we see this guy who's eating carbohydrates. You see he has a nice smile and he's happy. Now if you go here to his buddy over here, you see a person who's not eating carbohydrates. And this person is upset and they're tired. Okay? Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever gotten results by not eating carbs and lost a decent amount of weight, but felt tired, sluggish, irritated, weak? Okay. I have too. I've been through the ringer too. I'm going to give you a little, basically this is what happens. This is what happens. Our brain, at a natural resting state, uses 100% carbohydrates. Carbohydrates naturally supply us with the energy we need for the day, especially the hyperenergy. The hyperenergy. Now, when we don't eat carbohydrates and we replace them by eating more chicken or more tuna fish or more protein and fat, the protein and fat will then need to be converted. It will go through a process because it's not naturally used for energy. So it will need to be converted to be used for energy at a lower form of energy with not as much enthusiasm and excitement as you normally could have. Now, if you're doing this just for a week or a couple days, it's not that deadly. But over the course of months and half a year to a year, it can actually become very deadly. Because in this conversion process, when I'm eating more protein and fat, I will produce these things in my kidneys and liver called ketones. And they are bad. They will increase, they're poisonous. It's almost like ethanol and alcohol. And they're bad. So they're acidic. The body has a normal range between 7.2 and 7.4 on the pH level. And our pH is just a balance between acidity and alkalinity. And usually foods that are proteins like meats and stuff, they're acidic. But foods that are carbohydrates and have a lot of water in them and are healthy are more alkaline. The more acid we have in our body, the higher chance we have to have cancer, much more, and heart disease, because those who have cancer are 2, 3 times as likely to have heart disease. Okay? So also know this too, that by eating our carbs, especially the ones that provide us with vitamins and minerals, most importantly, vegetables and fruits. As we see, all of nature here has our greenery, which is directly vegetables. The sunlight, photosynthesis. We could go off in that angle too. But that's what provides our raw energy. Okay? And with those vegetables, we will live longer. As we see in the Asian food pyramid, a lot of those people in Japan and China, the ones who are focusing, and the holistic people here in the USA, who focus a lot more on the vegetarian side of way of eating, their organs won't have to work as hard, and they will be lighter, and they could live easily to 120 years old. I don't know if you want to live that old. I'm not sure I do. But maybe when we're 70, we'll look like we're 45. Hey, how about that? Okay, so now let's look at when we should eat our carbohydrates. All the time. Eat them with every meal. Okay? Now, say for instance you've got a sandwich right here. I still have half a sandwich left. Might I add that Rosie makes some really good sandwiches. We have here the breads, the starches, like rice and potatoes and sweet potatoes and bread. Those we want to eat more in the early part of the day, okay, because they're heavier. And the vegetables, though, like the lettuce and tomatoes, could be any time of the day and should be with every meal. So, as we see here, if you're looking to trim up and you want to look good, because most of us, we want to look good. Whatever we're eating, we want to look good and feel a lot of energy. We want to feel a lot of energy and from the inside, feel good. On the outside, look good. So the basic ways to eat your starches in the early morning and get them before about 2 p.m. I recommend my clients, the majority of them, when they're leaning and body shaping. And to have vegetables with every meal. Have your fruits. Try to have the majority of those before 2 p.m. Okay? If you're not concerned about losing weight, you can have your fruits all day long. Okay? After 2 p.m., lean off these starches and eat more of the vegetables all day, and you'll lean up nice. Vegetables will raise the metabolism sky high. These starches will supply us also. They'll be filled in glycogen, a stored form of energy, which we can use later when we're working out hard or physical activity. How much? Well, the average person, but I see that about 50% of my intake should come from carbs. Now, if I'm exercising that day, then I should have more, maybe about 60%. Say, for instance, I'm training 4 hours a day, okay, working out. Maybe I want to go to the Olympics, be an Olympic wrestler or something. Then I would want to have a lot of carbohydrates because I'll need a lot of energy to do all these different movements. Whenever I'm moving, that uses energy, okay? When I'm like this, then I use fat, okay? So if I'm going to, then I'll use fat. If I'm going to sit around more, eat more fat. So that pretty much sums it up. I'm not big on the calorie counting. I know a lot of us count calories, 3,000 calories, 2,000. You'll notice that when you eat a lot of vegetables, you don't need to count calories. You could eat 6 pounds of vegetables a day. Shoot, I had almost a year where I was eating at least 3 pounds of vegetables, 3 to 5 pounds a day. I never needed to count my calories. And as a matter of fact, I probably ate more calories than I expended, but I still leaned up and lost weight somehow. So, but anyways, I appreciate you coming here, sitting down, chatting with me, and I'm chatting with you. And just come here to say, remember, have fun and exercise. These sandwiches are good.